Hi everyone, Emma here. I'm so excited to show you how to make these lovely earrings. Now I haven't decided if it's completed. The idea was exactly this. I'm not a big like dangly stuff, but I feel it does need something down here, down below. But anyways, I'm going to show you how to use these lovely rhinestone sew-on crystals that I got from Carmi at John Bead. And I have a few things out because once I pulled out this here, these are the 10 millimeter gold setting teal. You can get these in silver, and looking at all the silver that I added, it probably would have been better to have the silver, but at the time I had no idea what I was using with it. But so did I pull one of these out? Yeah, I did. So these are available, I think, on Amazon. I thought they were available at Michael's. I couldn't find them here in Canada, but I'm sure somebody will let me know where they've gotten them. Anyway, these are great. They have so many holes that you can attach with and bezel, and the idea was to be able to do a really nice kind of bezeled ornament or earring that you don't actually have to use peyote stitch with. For some people, it's really frustrating if you have vision problems and hand problems and stuff like that. It's a little difficult to bezel. So these are a great alternative, and I'm just having a ball. So let me show you the different ones that I started. I will be doing more kind of video tutorials. Let me know if there's something in particular you want to see. I started out with, we have Remembrance Day coming up, and I always do something for Remembrance Day, a Remembrance Day poppy, and that's what I was trying to do with this, although it doesn't look exactly like a poppy, but it looks amazing. So there's that. So I'm working on that. And I'm using the stiffy fabric that you can get at Michael's from John Bead. And I love it. I have to tell you, it is incredible. The problem I have with even doubling up regular felt, that was a suggestion somebody made to me, is when you put your thread through and you go to pull tight to secure your beads in place, the fabric moves. This stuff here is set. Your thread's not going to move over. Like, even if you can kind of see little spaces, it's still super thick. I can't believe the difference. Even I have some stiff fabric that I got at the Sewing Notion store, and it works nothing like this. This stuff is amazing. So I definitely highly recommend it. It is available at Amazon in Canada and the US. I think they have the basic colors. I don't know about all the reds and the different colors like that. So then the other thing I wanted to make kind of fall colors, and this is one that I started. Now, if you're noticing, I'm using a lot of these, you know what, I saw them the other day, the name of them, I think it's like a chandelier cut or something like that. Yeah, I don't think that's the name, but anyway, I got these super cheap on AliExpress, the crystals, in case you're wondering. I know people usually ask me about some of these things. They were incredible, how inexpensive. I ended up with a full tray of all different colors. That's how amazing they are. So this, it's not done. So if you see either one of these, you think what I should do to finish it off. Now this could be a poinsettia as well. This looks pretty cool. And yeah, this was supposed to be the fall colors of the leaves. And I think I was planning on doing a pin with this, but I actually may end up bringing this out and doing a bracelet with it. It would be lovely. But so there's that. And then I started on this one. I wasn't liking the way it was coming around here. It looked really nice, just the pearls and the seed beads. So this is kind of a work in progress. This would probably do well for earrings as well. So let's put these aside off of our mat and let's talk about this kind of snowflake crystal look that we have here. And I use those kind of drop shapes that have like the faceted swirly stuff on it. And these beads here I got from the Bead Bar. You can see them in the package. So yeah, I was amazed. They matched the color and there was plenty of them. So that's why I had this out. I pulled out all of my, I'll show them to you. So let's put this stuff aside and get this out. So I have a piece of the stiff felt. If you don't have the stiff felt, you can still use other stuff. It's just, I find it super frustrating when I'm trying to adjust where beads are going. So, and you can see that's plenty of space. You don't need the whole thing. And let's adjust the lighting here. That. So we have, you're going to need one of the 10mm round, and this color is called teal. I'm using some of my Nymo thread, or 1G, I'm not sure which it is. I've got my bent ear wire. We'll fix that at the end. And you know, this could be a pin as well. So what I did was I added this fancy closed jump ring, so it could be used as a pendant as well. And you could do it as a pin, maybe if you had something up here, or on a lanyard if you're at work. So let me pour these out for now. So we'll need a head pin to add some pearls and crystal. And this, I've got some Preciosa crystals. This is 4mm blue zircon AB times 2. So did I put one out of those? We'll put one out. These next to there, and we'll put 2 pearls there so we have it. Put that aside. And this is the backing. So again, you don't need a lot. This is like that faux leather stuff that you get online. So that'll fit perfectly. So we'll put that aside. And we have our crystals. So these are the beads that I got in the Bead Bar Bead Mix. And they are lovely. Just gorgeous. Perfect for this design. So let's, what do we have? We'll just take them out of the pile. Here's the jump ring, closed jump ring, and you can get these online. They're pretty common. So I'll just move these over here. And I'm using metallic silver 11-0 seed beads. So let's put some out here. I have the 15-0s. What did I use? That might have been for a different project. I don't see any 15-0s in here. Okay, never mind. I'm doing my best to try and... Oh, I know. I did use them. I knew there was a reason. So 15-0. And I have these 4mm fire polished beads. Clear aqua color. I'm not sure exactly the color. I might as well put them all out. And I'll show you in the project where that comes into play. Let's put just a few of these out. Like, I think you only need less than 10 anyway. Let's put a few there. Okay, so take a look. On the edge here, I felt like, so when I started out, it went something like this. And I felt like there was something missing here. So that's where I put a 4mm crystal and a 15-0 crystal, went through the pearl, and then came out, did the same on the other side, and did that all around to kind of bring it out. So there, let's take a look. Oh, and I'm using a size 12 needle, but I will say, so there's a benefit to using a larger needle in this project. This stuff is so good that when I was trying to get through both layers of the faux leather and this with my size 12 needle, I had to use my pliers to pull the needle through. It wouldn't go through. And what it is your needle is, if it's smaller, it's going to create a smaller hole in this. So then when you get to the eye, it really kind of, and the thread that's hooked onto the eye, you really have to pull it through hard. I'm used to using a size 10 needle that creates a bigger hole in here and in here, so then it goes through easily. So it's up to you what you want to do. The benefit of using a smaller needle is you don't have a big hole. And I mean, I say that relative to what it is. It's not that big of a hole. But that also gives your thread a bit of space to move when you're doing your stitching. And I find for the back here, and let's show you on this one. So it looks very kind of dainty, the thread coming through on the edge, and it doesn't rip the backing so that thread kind of pops through and then it doesn't hold, and you've got a cut in your in this. When I was using my size 10 needle, that would sometimes happen. You see how close I have this one to the edge? If that was a size 10 needle, that thread would have broken through on the edge. So that's the other benefit. It's just absolute choice for you what you want to use. I think probably a size 10 is better for your hands, because I did have, I have had surgery on my hand. So pulling like this is really hard. Okay, so that's all the instruction. Go ahead, make it. So now we're going to make it 10 minutes in. I'm pulling out a wingspan. I like to use a full wingspan when I'm doing this. Now, I normally recommend you thread or you wax your thread, but you know what? I didn't wax it for these projects, and I found everything went through really well, and my thread did not separate. So that would be the reason for using your wax. So just get this threaded. And definitely if you use a new needle, the eye won't be compressed like this one. So that's why it's a little sticky there. So pull that through. And I just did a little bit of a pre-stretch. I don't know what the scoop is on pre-stretching your thread. I've heard people say that, and I've said it myself. And then I started thinking, why am I telling people to pre-stretch their thread? You're getting like simple little crystals that you're sewing on. It's not like there's a huge weight pulling on stuff, so that would actually stretch your thread. So let me know if you've heard of anything like that. I know that some people have been doing this for 10, 20 years, a lot longer than I have, and they know the scoop. And they're always so lovely to share that information with me. So now when you start here, most people, and you can see them online, they mark a midpoint and stuff, I think that's a great idea. But I'll tell you, I do not like having ink on my project. I can see it, so I don't know how people can't see it. Now you can buy in disappearing ink at the fabric store, and I've used that before, but I have a really good eye for measuring and finding the midpoint, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do that because that's how I roll. Now I'm gonna go from the front to start with, and I'm gonna use my trick of setting the thread, and so there's the knot in there, and you can set it like that, and then just do 3 quick little stitches close by, and then once we do those 3 stitches, you can cut that tail off, and that prevents you from having a knot at the front of your work or at the back of your work, so that it doesn't get all bumpy from starting and stopping. Let's get in here. So this will be a long video because we're going to attempt to do beginning to end. So let's go. I'm going to set it next to a hole like that. I mean, we could move this if we wanted to. So I'm going to go crossways just right now. You can do whichever way you want. You can go straight across and end like that. Okay, and now that my thread's at the back, I'm going to cut that piece off. So all you have to do is just pull your knot away from your stiffy and snip it. That thread's not going anywhere, it's well anchored. So now we'll just go around and secure these. You can go a few times in the separate holes. I'm gonna do that just to make sure that this piece here is nicely secured. So go across like that. And you can round your corners too. I know some people do that. I don't, but I did find with the stiff fabric that it does get hooked quite a bit. So now I'm going to go over to the next side like that. Bring it up close and cross at an angle. That. And go down. That. I'm just going to keep going around now that that one is anchored. And if you notice like it feels like it's more on this side, you can just move it like that and then hold it and go into that side. So it's very forgiving, this technique. And most of this like thread in and out, first of all, it matches the color, so you're not going to see that. So you can adjust it if you need to. There, so now that's what you have. So let's take a look. What I did was, let's get these guys out. So I went around and I added, let's bring us in closer here. So I went ahead and added on each side, if you look at, there's kind of a side, even though it's round, if you go on the sides, put 2 right up against that, side by side. And if you do that all the way on the 4 sides, like that, you're going to end up with this angle section. And that's where I added, so these are the two sides, and then in between I added a set on, here we go. So there's the two sides, and then I added an angle set. Let me show you what I mean. So I added kind of midway up that bead, like that, and then one here. And I did that all the way around. So, and I put a pearl. So I should talk about the pearls. I forgot to mention that. These are 4mm pearlescent blue Preciosa pearls. They are beautiful. So that's kind of what we're going to do all the way across. So let's get started here. So bring our thread up. Just kind of estimate where you're going to come through with that bead. There. Put this one on like that. And just bring that down and then go in here. That. And remember to flip them flat, because there is a shorter side on this side. Okay. Now I'm going to come back to the bottom here and add the second one. That. And now that you have the other one, you can kind of guess where the thread's going to go through, or you can pull it down to the bottom. There. I'm going to go through that one a second time. I'm going to make sure it's not going to move. Actually, it's fine now. So let's go through here and go to the next side. So you can kind of use the holes that are there in the rhinestone to gauge where you want to line things up. But like I said, this design is very forgiving, and that's what I like about using a stiffy fabric and rhinestones, because you don't have to be as precise when it comes to, say, you're bezeling this in peyote. You definitely want to make sure you had it lined up to whatever you're going to add to it after. So I hope everybody's doing well. I have my injection tomorrow for my SI joint. I'm a little freaked out about it. It's been 11 years since I've had one, and they seem to be... I'm just noticing something here. This is dirty. Must be like what they use to smooth them out. Okay, let's pull this down. Yeah, so we'll see. Thank you everyone for the wonderful comments. A bunch of people have been wishing me luck. I went for a swim today, and since I had to go off all my medication for this injection, I've been so sore, and I've been trying to work out to get as many workouts in, because I have to rest for 2 weeks after the injection. And I didn't work out on Sunday because I was just exhausted. So when I went to the pool today, I couldn't believe all the energy I had. But it was nice. It's getting cold here. Not too many bike rides in my future, both from the weather standpoint and the injection. So just keep adding these around. So I am having an incredible time with all the stuff that Carmi from John Bead sent me. I have been working on projects of all the different items she sent me, but I have to say I'm a little overwhelmed with projects in my head, and so I'm doing my best to get them out to you so that you get some ideas, and I try and do really nice stuff, so I don't want to just do some, basic designs. I have a certain rules to beading. Did you know that there was rules to beading? I tell Jen that. She just laughs. She's like, "Oh, you're going to tell me, aren't you?" Yes, there are many rules. Then there's Emma rules to beading. This is my rule. I'm going to let you in on a secret. Has to be something you've never seen before, and it has to be something that you're gonna absolutely love, that you can't do without, that you have to make yourself. And it has to be a piece of jewelry. And there's many rules. It has to be something that you can easily have access to. What else? Yeah, so when you start doing that many rules, so here's an example. I totally went too far on one side. But watch, you can just go like this. And this is the other part that I like about this stiffy fabric, because now I'm going to put my thread in over a bit so that it's going to line it up. And it will stay, which is lovely. So about there. And when I pull that tight, it should do it. If it doesn't, then you can go ahead and, move it again and add a new stitch, which I might do. I did find when I did it first, I didn't line it up with the edges. So let's see if I can get my needle in the right spot. See if this does anything. There, somewhat. Let's go in there. Now, so now we want, that's what you should have, super easy. Oh, look, it's hooked on the prong, so let's get that off there. When I was doing one of those other ones, the thread was hooked around the corner and I kept sewing. I couldn't see it. And halfway through, I'm like, what the heck? So I had to pull it off. And of course, now I've got this big loop at the back. All I did was I cut it and then tied it in a knot. So that one has a knot in it. Okay, so now what we can do is put the pearl in there first, and then we know exactly where to put the next crystal on an angle. So let's get this in about, I'm I'm going to move this over. Get that pearl in there. That. And you can just put your needle to get your pearl even so you don't see the holes. Then go to the next one. There. And here, pearl. There. Next one. This is, I think it's so quiet because I'm doing this. I'm thinking some of the other videos, they show this and go in fast motion. But I made a decision early on when I was starting my channel to not do edits. And first of all, one of the reasons is I used to work in the film industry here in Atlantic Canada, and I loved editing, but I'll tell you, it takes a long time. And I thought, I don't want to edit as much as I want to do videos and teach people stuff, show them things. So I made a decision that I'm not going to edit my videos. This way I can do more videos and show more fun stuff. And so far it's worked pretty good. So at any point too, you can turn this into whatever you want. Like, this looks amazing just like this. You could add some different things. So let's go down in here. Make sure it doesn't get hooked. There. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our lovely transparent blues and we're going to add these like this and like that around on each corner. Just double check that's what I have. Yep. And then the crystal's going to go in between it like this. Again, you could actually, this would look nice. So here's the thing. This turned out really kind of square looking. And I think that's why I feel like it's not quite what I was going for with an earring. I think if it was long, it would look better as an earring. Like if it was something like this. But you tell me what you think. I'm just spitballing. You know what the big thing with me is? It's hard for me to do a design a second time because I change my mind and alter it so many times. So you hear the thread or the needle popping through. That's how amazing this stiffy fabric is. I'm just straightening out that pearl. So let's get this one down here. That. Get that there. And then come out next to this pearl. So being that it's November, are people getting gifts ready, and what kind of gift designs are you doing? I was hoping to do a I like to do one big project that kind of is really big for the holidays so people can do the design. But I feel like I should have had that done by now. So let me know if there's something you want to see that's kind of holiday oriented. So I don't know, should we put this in now? We'll wait till we get to the... Let's put it in now. Go to about there. I'm just checking this one to make sure it's clean. So put that there. These I did find I had to stitch through it twice to kind of secure it, just because it's an awkward shape. So maybe like that. Pull that in. So you see how they move around. So let's go back up through the other side. Like that. Last year, let me think. So I guess the year before last, I did ornament covers. I find too, as a YouTuber, that my designs tend to get popular the following year, and it's probably because it's all there, all the videos. So the ornament cover that I did was pretty elaborate, so it I'm just checking here if there's... I don't want to bring my thread across too far. Let's stitch in here first just to anchor that, and then we'll come out the other side, the other corner. Yeah, so there was a couple of videos. Last year I found these really cool trying to think what they call them. They're like plastic, but they were printed, laser printed. So they're like circles like this with a hole in the top and the laser printing, and they were all holiday scenes. And then I beaded them into pins. Oh my gosh, they turned out so adorable. So if you haven't seen those, check them out. They were so fast and easy, like you could make one in an hour, and it's gorgeous. I made a bunch of those and gave them to the receptionists at the mental health clinic that I go to, and they, first of all, they remember my name now. Hi, Emma. That's not why I did it, but you know, there is that. You know what it is? When I worked as a nurse, we got gifts all the time, all the time. So I wanted to make sure that I was that person that came in and brought gifts for people. That, you know, it's just a little token of gratitude. It's not like anything major. And funny, like they would bring in chocolates and donuts or get us coffee. And you know what? It was so nice. It's always nice when somebody does something for you. Oh, that's not where I want that needle. Pay attention, Emma. So yeah. So I'm trying to think. what I'm going to do this year for the holiday. I was thinking of doing another ornament cover, but it was a lot of work. And you know what's funny? I did that year that I did that ornament cover. So it required a front and a back, so two large pieces like this, and then the side pieces to attach them, and then the assembly. So it was a lot of work. And then I made a bunch of them as gifts for people, for my nieces and stuff like that. So, I mean, they're wonderful to do, but as a YouTuber, it's hard. Like you would take a year of planning if you were doing it for like a business that you're developing something. So yeah, I want to hear what you guys think. Maybe we should just do some holiday bracelets and earrings. So last year I did a 30-day earring challenge. I think it was in the month of December. Yeah. So it was meant as an advent calendar. And the videos themselves did not get a lot of views, but the people that did follow the 30-day challenge loved it. So I just want to make sure this, I am going to secure this. I think it's fine. Let's put this here. And just anchor this here and then come out here. There. So yeah, the earring, I love doing earring tutorials, but I feel like they're too short sometimes. Like sometimes that's, oh, this is, what am I doing? So that's why I thought, oh, let's do the 30-day challenge as earrings. It was a lot of work again. I was surprised having 30 designs, and then the people that did watch and participate and comment and stuff like that, they were amazing, but I have to answer those comments and talk to people and that kind of thing. Oh, and I did 4 giveaways, so there was a giveaway each week with the earrings. So yeah, I just gave myself a lot of work. I had it all prepared ahead of time. So I would, I designed them and then did one of the earrings and then had all the supplies ready for the second earring to do on the tutorial. Now, some of them I did the actual videos a week ahead so that it was, ready to go and I wasn't doing videos every day of December. That's crazy that I did that much. Ugh. You know what I think with this design? I like the seed beads, but I think it's too busy. Look at this. I think we should do it just like this. It's so beautiful. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave them out because what I'll do is I'll just make a third one. This could be a pendant and this could be the earring because this is looking lovely. This is, what I saw when I envisioned it in my head. So let's get our crystal in here. And you could use whatever you have. Even you could use a bicone here. Let's take this bicone and show you. So if you had a larger bicone, but even a smaller bicone is nice. Let's see if I can show that to you. something like that. You could put a few bicones. You could put a larger pearl. So if you don't have any of these, don't worry, just use what you have. That's the other thing I like to tell people is use what you have. If you notice there's a component that you don't have, just use whatever. You know, to get this shape, you can use a 6mm pearl and a 4mm pearl, and it'll give you this same look. And yeah. That. And go through again. The other thing you could use on this design, and I actually pulled them out, but I haven't gotten the courage to use them, you're laughing, is the bugles. These would look lovely as like kind of sparkly, snowflakey images. Ta-da! This is looking lovely. Okay, let's anchor this here. There. And then, oh yeah, I like this so much better. Sometimes when you're so close to something, you're doing it, well, I have to say, when I do stuff, I'm like, what else could I add? What other sparklies could I add? I know you guys know what I'm talking about. Few people have mentioned it in my comments. Yeah, I'm with you, Emma. I add everything I own. I want to show off my beads, my sparklies. There. There. These are so lovely. I'm so glad they put these in those bead mixes. I think I'll be busy. Never mind holiday beading. I'll be busy getting through all the stuff that I got from John Bead. This is looking pretty. Okay, must be the one yet. Had some dirt on it. I'm looking to see where my tray is and I'd get a clean one. Let's see how we did here. There, that one's clean. There. Oh no, that's still got dirt on it. Okay. This is lovely. And we'll go through this one a second time. And we're going to decide whether to put the crystals on the edges because this is looking lovely just like this. There. I thought that was coming through. Okay, so let's take a look at what we have. There's that. So we're not going to bother with these. You know why I think I did them? Is I wanted to cover the base of the crystal. So I had like a loop around, but they look fine like that. So I did put a pearl. Let me see if we need that. You know what I think? I don't think we need any of this. So I added these pearls on the outer edge to kind of fill this space. But you know what I have? Oh, sparklies. So rather than do that, it does look nice. But rather than do that, let's get this chain. Look what I have. Oh, I think I cut 2 pieces to the size. Let me see here. And my desk is like crazy right now. That's what happens when I'm designing. Okay, there's one piece. Oh, look. Okay, so something like this. I didn't like how it went round around the crystal, but you know what? If we cut pieces and made it very pointy, but then came around, this would look lovely. So this is this the same one? I think that one's darker. I also have some white crystals. I think the blue. And you know what we could do is rather than do this stitch here with the, I didn't even tell you about these. They're over here. These beads here. That's what I used for the edge. These are 11/0s. We can actually do the crystal to attach the front and the back. I think we should do that. I just like it plain like this. You let me know what you think. We will still put this element at one of the tips so that we can. So let's move this over. Like that. And I was going to say we could decide about these guys. You know what? I wonder, instead of putting the pearl in those sections, is put these in here. Yeah, that's the same color. So put 2 of those crystals. Oh yeah, that's it. Look at that. And a 15/0 will fit in between there. And we'll go around and do that. And that way it evens it out a little more when we put the cup chain. It won't look like there's an empty space. So let's do that. Let me move my cup chain. Okay. So we're here. Let's come to this section here. Go as far over as I can get. You know what? That is too low. I need it a little higher. I'm estimating where the hole of the bead is going to be. There, kind of in the middle of that, what's exposed of this bead here. So pick up a 4mm crystal. That's the wrong size. These 15/0 seed beads, and then another 4mm like that, and you can check to make sure it fits. It looks like it fits. Like that. Let's go in here. Oh, that's perfect. Look at that. Oh, I love it when a plane comes together. I'm wondering if we put something next to the crystals. Let's go on. Let's try this. Maybe like that. Don't know. That's my way of saying nope. I think maybe a 50 would look something teeny tiny needs to go there. We could put 50 across the crystal. You see what I mean? How I'm like obsessed. Like something like this. Okay, let's try. You know what? We're going to try this. If it doesn't work, doesn't look good, we'll take it out. So let's go in near the tip of this crystal or this bead, like that. And we'll just pull it out if I don't like it. And pick up 6 15-0s. I think that's how many it'll take to cover that section. There's 5 and 6. And we're going to go to the other side of this one here. It's not holding it down, it's just filling that spot. And this happens. Not a big deal. Oh, look, it needed more. Yeah, it needed more. No, I think it looks too... I like the straight up crystal. So that's easy enough to take out. And pull those off. There we go. I'll just anchor my thread there and go to the next one. Stay on task, Emma. You're doing so well. I need help. So, for the next 2 weeks, being that I'm on no activity level, I don't know how well I'll be sitting, so I'm hoping that I'll be able to do more beading videos. So, and what I might do is just turn the camera on and do some stuff and talk to you guys, so I don't go cuckoo staying at home. Okay, so pick up a 4mm crystal, a 15-0 seed bead, and another 4mm. And you see I've placed my thread midway between the exposed part of that bead and the end of it, and I'm going to go across to the other side in the same somewhat position like that, and look, that's perfect. Okay, so now we'll go to the next one. Oh, big day for everyone in the US. I hope everything goes well. We're thinking about you here in Canada. It's getting all twisted here. Time to... Oh, you know what? Sometimes it gets twisted and the bead actually... The thread loops around the bead. So let me see if I can get that unhooked here. Oh, that's a mess. Wow, that really got... Let me pull this out so I have more to work with here. That is just ridiculous. There we go. Now that should come through. Wow, I can't believe I got that straightened out. So when that happens, that's because your thread is getting all twisted. So just pull it through your finger with your needle dangling so it spins out. I don't know if that did anything, but we'll see. Yeah, this one just got turned a bit. There. And a 4mm crystal, 15-0, and a 4mm crystal. And that's the last one. That. Okay, I'm going to hang on to that thread with my finger so it doesn't get all twisted. And it's thinking about it. There. That one's getting a little funky. I'm going to fix that one. Let's go to this side and go through here. There. Now, so I think that's it. I don't want to do anything else except for the cup chain that we're going to put in here. So let's cut some pieces of cup chain, because I think I do want it to be like a straight line across. Undecided. So maybe something like that. I probably wouldn't recommend cutting a whole bunch of pieces of cup chain. I would cut them at each corner when you're ready to use it, because one side might be off by one little cup. So I actually might wait. I'm going to cut my fabric first, my stiffy, and I should have used my other scissors. So I still have my thread in there. I'm going to make sure I hang on to my thread with my finger so I know where it's at. And you can pretty much tell where you're going. If you're concerned, you can go to the other end, or you can mark it. So let's leave the space for the cup chain. So something like this. So I'm just going to cut it straight across like that and leave the space for the cup chain. That. Okay, I'm going to pull this down this way. That. Lovely. There's probably two. You can adjust. I feel like there's too much on this side. I think it's just the way that I would leave it. You can round these edges, but you know what? Since we're using cup chain in a diamond shape, I think we'll leave it. So now what you do want to do is, because we're going to add the cup chain at the same time, we're going to apply our leather backing. So you want to go to your leather backing and cut the same shape. So you can cut it on the corner. Where's my thread? Let's go here so the thread's not going to get cut. So let's go like this. Oops. This faux leather's a bit curled, so it doesn't have to be this precise, by the way. I'm just a little OCD. So now let's cut using the other as our margin. Like that. Okay. Now here's the other thing you have to decide. I used blue thread because I didn't want to see my thread amongst the blue, but when you go to attach your backing, I used white backing. And where's my earring? So you can see the thread. If you want to make that less apparent, you can use white or use the same color as you're using on the front. I just kind of like I love this white. It's faux leather, it has the texture. So yeah, decisions. So now we're going to put one of these at the top. Let's just set that close by so we don't forget it. So we'll attach that right at the beginning. And actually, you know what? You can attach it to your, let's put this there, and we will attach it right now. Because we don't want a whole bunch of thread on our white backing. So let me bring my thread over to the corner here and a little further up, like this. Okay, and we're just going to attach this. So hook it onto here, and go a little bit down like that, and then come back through. And down. Super easy. I'm going to go on each side of the first stitch. Go this way. And down through here. Like that. That's pretty secure. So we can leave that like that. And we will attach. So let's get this back where I want it. I'm pretty sure that was the spot we had it. Yep. Like that. And then we'll get our cup chain. So now, let me see which is the best. Yeah, we're going to attach this side first, So let's cut that piece of cup chain. Let's go here. So just eyeball where you want it to sit. One piece of cup chain on the alternate sides will go from the one end to the other, then the other one will go inside it. So just remember that. So that is to there. Use my nail as my gauge, and I just use these flush cutters, and I always try and pull that prong out a bit, like so it's extended, and then cut, because if you don't, sometimes it'll hang through and you can see it. So now we're just going to set our cup chain like this. There. Now I think that was down far enough that it went through two. Let's do it for one. So one little crystal. So go on the other side of that crystal. This part's a little bit finicky. Like that. I want to make sure that that stays on that first cup. Once you get started, this gets really easy. It's just this little piece is a little bit finagling here. Oh, jeepers. I've never had it this tough, but you know what? I'm doing tiny things too, so. Okay, this is just not friendship. You heard it here first. Slide that back in there. There we go. Hook that one on there. Get this back into position. I love doing the cup chain like this. It's super easy. It's just, of course, we have a few things going on here. So, I wonder if I'm going to come around. Let me do it again, just to be sure the first one's in there. And there's a way to get it to go around each cup, and I'll show you that in a second. There we go. So that one is not going anywhere, and you just have a small stitch on the corners at the back. You could add something here too, and we could do that after. So let me go. Let's go this way here. I want to come off to the edge on the other side. Okay, so this is how you get around that cup, is you bring your thread around and hold it, so then it's not going to jump. Okay, there we go. So now we are going to go through here. like that. So pull your thread across the one you're wanting to loop onto. Put your thumb there, pull that in there. Okay. Let's go through here. This is very tiny. I didn't realize it was going to be this finicky. Now, doing it this way, you can always put your nail there so it doesn't jump that one. And then you're ready for the next. And go down to the next one. So let's get our thread around that one, like that. And there we go. This is starting to look lovely. I mean, it's a little bit of work, and it's not as finessed on the back, but you can always add something at the back. But look at how pretty that is. Okay. I think this is the better way to do it. There we go. And there. Like that. I just love these tiny little cup chains, and I think the ornaments or the pins that I made last year, I put cup chain on them. They're very sparkly. Of course. There, like that. Okay. Now this goes a lot faster when you're not doing it on camera and you're kind of in the groove kind of thing. There. That. Oh, it's pretty. Lovely. So one of the designs I've seen is they had these cup chains dangling down. I think that would be lovely, but I think we'd have to attach them before we put this on that bottom piece. There. The other thing you should know with using cup chain, because it has the little bars in between the crystals that extend, you can see how they're moving. Make sure, that's another reason when you cut your stuff to pay attention. Do you want to have your cups all sitting close together or separated? And never fails, like if you measure it ahead of time and then you get to the point near the end and you realize you either have too much or not enough, It's probably one of those things that you didn't account for, that extension. This is getting hooked on the little prongs on the, and that's because my thread's getting a bit messed up. This would be a good time to wax your thread. You heard it here first. Wax your thread. Wax on, wax off. So this is the last one on this side. Right there. There. So you can see I measured that, and we're not quite at the edge here, and we're not quite at the edge here. The other thing that can happen is when you pull your thread tight, it pulls them in, so they end up getting kind of bound together. So here's my tip. When you measure, getting ready to cut, push all your cup chain together and measure. And then if it extends, it's not a big deal. You cut the excess off. But here now we're going to put a piece of cup chain. It's going to start here. It's not a big deal. But if you were doing a project and, you got to the end, you're like, oh my gosh, I don't have enough. So I'm thinking about adding some cup chain like down here. A couple of little strands. I don't know. I wish you guys were here to tell me what to do. I feel like I need something here too. Take a look what we have in here that we could use. Ooh, I just see. Sound like a 4-year-old. I see something, Mummy. Something like that. Some sparkly chain. How about a butterfly? There's a few of these. I guess we could put another one of these crystals. Okay, I'm stalling long enough. Let's finish this. Oh, we could put my ladybug that I flipped out over. Where did I put it? Thought it was in here. I must have set it aside. Okay, so let's cut this one. So I'm going to use my own advice. You can see where it's extended. Let's push this together like that. Bring it right to the edge. And you know what? You can always add extra. I like to save and only use what I'm using kind of thing. But you know what? There's always, if you cut a couple of extra cups, it's not going to matter. So that one looks good. And here's the other thing. Take a look at your cup chain before you put it on. I was wondering, here's a question for Faye. She did costumes, I think, for the dance community. And so she knows all about this stuff. And she was saying how she used to have to go through, like, the prongs were like straight prongs and it would hook on stuff. So she used to have to go through each one and reset them to make sure that they were in place. Can you imagine doing a big costume and you have to do all that stuff? Okay, so let's bring this, I'm just gonna bring my thread behind the blue just to finish that stitch off like this. And then let me get here a little bit lower here, and we'll hook on the first one. Okay, let's try and do this a little better than the last one. That was painful. That was painful to watch, and I'm the one doing the video. Oh, okay. I'm trying to decide. Let's go this way. See what I mean? Pulling it through is a little bit hard. Okay, let's get that thread there. Okay, these should go pretty quick. And to the next one. Oh, there's a knot in there. 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 And make sure your cup chain is actually on the stiffy fabric. Let's go in a little more. Get that. So I think this could take half an hour. Oh my God, it's already an hour and a half. I think finishing this off could take that long. So I think what I'll do is just finish it and do a reveal later. Because, yeah, this is taking too long. Let's get this next one in and we'll call it. Get my thread in there and pull. So there, let me know what you think, what the best design is. Design number 1 or 2. If you have any ideas, I'm definitely up for that. So there, oh, I'm totally off camera. What? There. And there. Take care, everybody. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.